Alright everyone, I'm going to be talking to you about metal 3D printing today. So we're going to be talking about metal 3D printing. It's quite an interesting subject. So there's two kinds of metal 3D printing. They are SLM and SLS, which is selective laser melting and selective laser sintering. So they're both metal additive manufacturing processes that belong to the powder bed family. The two technologies have a lot of similarities. Both use a laser to scan and selectively fuse or melt the metal powder particles, bonding them together and building apart layer by layer. Also, the materials used in both processes are metals that come in a granular form. So the big difference between SLM and SLS is SLM uses a high-powered laser to melt the two metal particles together, and that costs a lot of money because of all the energy needed. And SLS has the two metal particles, but there's also like a little bits of plastic surrounding them. So basically the layer will scan the cross section, and it will cause these little plastic particles to fuse the metal particles together. And this is a lot cheaper. And this one will cost about 500 grand. Well, this one can cost about 4 grand. All right, now I'm going to show you what a typical metal 3D printer looks like. So basically, we got the laser up here. And just to show you that there's some power. And we have the other component laser. And then I'm going to switch over to red just to show you the laser. And then we have the powder bed, which you can see right here. So this can be a piston. And that's going to be contained in these walls. Let's draw a little bit lower. Okay, we got our little piston right here. And then we have the other piston, which is right here. And this is right here. And this is all filled with powders, this one. And then this is where the part's going to be constructed. This is also going to be filled with the powder, but also showing the cross-section of the part. So this is the loose powder. This is the build tank, which will go downwards each time. And this is the powder feed tank, which will go upwards each time. Feed tank. And then there's going to be a little powder roller, which will go this way. It's the powder roller. Okay, so basically, I'll explain how the process works. So a thin layer of metal powder is spread over the build platform, and the high-powered laser, which is right here, will scan the cross-section of the component, melting the metal particles together and creating the next layer of the part. This process is sort of like the 3D printers in the sandbox and the way that it builds apart layer by layer. So say you're building a sphere. We'll go over here. So first it'll scan the bottom part of the sphere, then go a little bit more, and a little bit more, and we're just adding a layer and another layer, another layer, another layer, until it's finally built. See, that looks like a sphere right there. And then when the scanning process is complete, the build tank will move downwards by one thickness layer, and the powder feed tank will move up by one thickness layer, and the powder roller then spreads another thin layer of metal powder over the surface of the part. This process is repeated until the whole part is complete. And that concludes metal 3D printing. Pretty interesting, am I right?